Watch CrossForge Gaming every single night on Twitch. Link in the description below.
Oh, Sony. Oh, Sony. Headlines like this are becoming more and more frequent, and it's gonna start biting you in the butt. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a quick little rundown. Online play for consoles has been limited to playing with other people who own that same console. But for a long time, Microsoft has wanted Xbox and Windows players to be able to play with each other. There have been a few failed attempts at that, but at least they were trying. Now, Valve successfully got PSN and Steam users playing Portal 2 together. That was a one-time thing. Then, along comes Rocket League. Psyonix, the developer of Rocket League, said very early on they wanted everyone playing Rocket League to be able to play with everyone else playing Rocket League. Network restrictions be damned. They also said that they already had the back end to be able to do it. All they needed was for Microsoft and Sony to say, sure, go ahead. And Psyonix would basically just flip a switch and everyone would be playing with everyone else. Well, Microsoft, who, like I said, had been trying to do this for a long time, was like, heck yeah, let's do it. Sony said, you can do it with PC players, but not Xbox players. And just like that, the dream died. Poof, gone, kaput, it's done. Not gonna happen. Console to PC was already possible on lots of games, most notably Microsoft first-party games, so long as a version existed for both platforms. But cross-console network play had never been done before, and it seemed like those dreams were gone just as soon as we thought we would attain them. Then Microsoft bought Mojang for $2 billion. You heard me right, billion, with a B. B for bear, or beats, or Battlestar Galactica. Billion times 2. Why would they spend that kind of money on a developer, you ask? Well, Mojang develops Minecraft. Now, even if you're not a gamer, you've heard of Minecraft. You probably know a 5-year-old kid that has built a supercomputer inside of Minecraft. He's probably accomplished more things in this video game in a few hours than you ever will in your entire life. So why is this significant? Because Minecraft is on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo consoles. Microsoft now owns a game that exists on its competitors' platforms. Now, a lot of people were worried that Microsoft was going to stop supporting the other platform versions of the game, but Microsoft not only promises to support every version of the game regardless of what platform it's on, but also promises to make the game available for competitors' consoles that didn't even exist at the time. And that's actually come to fruition with the Nintendo Switch. They also promise that all of these versions, including a Windows 10 specific version that they were developing alongside the Java version that still exists, would play together. Now, they can't play with the Java version, and there's a lot of different reasons for that we're not going to get into, but all of these better together versions, as they called them, were going to play together just fine, hence the cute and clever name. And over the months, that has happened. With one notable exception. I'll let you guess. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed it right. Give yourself a big round of applause. That was awesome. You're so smart. I'm so proud of you. That's exactly right. PSN devices can only play Minecraft with other PSN devices. Now, since Rocket League, more developers have shown great interest in cross-network play. And in every single case that it comes up, Sony is the one sticking their nose up to the idea. Now, in Sony's defense, kind of makes sense from their point of view. The PS4 is way outselling the Xbox One, 2-1 in fact. The Switch is still new, so they're still kicking its butt. But let's be real here, the Switch is selling faster than the PlayStation 4 is. Much faster, in fact. So much faster that it's only a matter of time before Nintendo either closes that gap or even surpasses PS4 sales numbers. Now, right now, they have a very comfortable lead. And letting players play with other console owners means those players have to buy a PS4 to play with their friends, who, statistically speaking, own a PS4 and not an Xbox One or a Switch. So this encourages those people who are like, man, I want to play Minecraft with my friends. I gotta go get a PS4 because that's what they're playing it on. Or I want to play Fortnite with my friends when they're all playing it on PS4, so I guess that's what I gotta go get it for. Now, this is only the case unless those people see that if they buy a PlayStation, they're limited to only playing other PlayStation users. Lots of people don't like walled gardens. In fact, that's why Android exists. Apple likes to wall their users off from the rest of the world in the name of stability and security. And that's actually the reason Sony says they won't let people play with Xbox and Switch owners. But we all know that's a load of bullcrap. We knew that when Apple told us, and now Android is by far the most used mobile OS in the world. That's not to say there's not billions of iOS devices out there, because there absolutely are. Let's be real here. Android was going to exist one way or another. That's just how capitalism works. But there's a really good chance that a lot of us wouldn't have moved over to Android if it weren't for the fact that the idea of being stuck in Apple's ecosystem just didn't make our skin crawl a little bit. So how do we know that it's crap when Sony tells us that? The reason is because Sony already lets their users play with PC users, so long as that game doesn't also let them play with Xbox and Switch users. It's not about stability. It's about keeping you locked into their ecosystem. They're okay with you playing with PC players because, let's be honest, you have a PC. People have PCs. That's just a thing. It's not like if you have a PlayStation 4, you're going to be like, well, I don't need a Windows machine, or I don't need a Macintosh, or a Linux box, or whatever it is that suits your fancy. You have a PC somewhere in your home. No, it's about making sure when it's time for you to upgrade, you buy another PlayStation product. Or when it's time for you to just buy your first video game system, you buy a PlayStation product, and not what that guy across the street is selling. Well, Sony, I got news for you. It may be working for you now, and it may work for you for a good long while, but eventually, these headlines are gonna get old. Eventually, your player base is gonna look around and see that the ivory tower that you've built for them is really, really, really lonely, and they're gonna jump ship. You can learn something from your old pals over at Nintendo. They tried being closed off and using their muscle to boss everyone else around. And for a while, it worked. In fact, it worked really freaking well. Like, as well as it's working for you. I get it. But then they had a little change in management, rest in peace, Iwata, opened themselves up to the world, and now the Switch is working its way up to your throne, and he's bringing his buddy Xbox with him. Sure, it might be the enemy of my enemy is a friend sort of thing, but it will happen, and you will suffer for your pettiness. And the worst part is that you're not even really punishing Xbox and Switch owners. You're punishing your own player base. They're the ones suffering here. There's no skin off my back if PSN players can't play Minecraft with me. I got millions of Windows 10, Switch, and Xbox One players I can play with, and it doesn't matter to me which shiny magical box I decide to play it on. Just so long as it's not yours. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down and tell me what you disagreed with. And as always, check out the links below this video to visit us on Facebook, Patreon, and the other platforms that you can find CrossForge Gaming on.